on. Hey, everybody. Welcome to That's Weird Stuff, the show where we talk about strange and bizarre stories and answer the questions aliens or not. So I'm sure you three have seen this being the UFO scholars that you are, but there was a story recently. So researchers from Harvard released a paper that claims aliens might be living underground or even in the moon, and that the UFOs we see might be evidence of their movements. The researchers were part of Harvard's Human Flourishing Program and suggest a third origin to UFOs. In the past, the prevailing theories suggest UFOs are extraterrestrials or secret man made objects. But the new theory suggests that they come from a hidden or disguised group living on the Earth. The paper suggests four theories of how aliens came to live among us. The first theory is that an ancient civilization like Atlantis survived and is living a hidden existence. The second theory suggests that non-human species evolved unknown to humans, maybe even intelligent dinosaurs. Thirdly, aliens or future humans have made their home on Earth. So that's kind of like the classic theory. The fourth theory suggests a supernatural origins for UFOs, such as angels, fairies, or elves living among us. While most experts claim a more rational reason is the cause of UFO sightings, the researchers urge the scientific community to keep an open mind. So, gentlemen, aliens among us. What were these Harvard guys thinking? Do you think they're onto something, or do you think UFOs are just lights in the skies? Go, Thomas. I could see you bubbling.
There's like no telling. I'm sorry, anything out of Harvard nowadays, I'm just like, you just want funding. You'll say anything at this point. I mean, I always like the thought of undercover aliens, I guess, like the aliens among us type stuff, like the X-Files type stuff.
Men in Black.
Yeah, I always like that kind of thing. But anything like Harvard says that potato chips are kind of unhealthy. It's like, yeah, duh. But okay. Um, I don't know. I've always been curious about Atlantis, but I'm not convinced that it was a thing or if it's still there. I'm just like, okay, cool, but whatever. Um, uh, I'm more like I'm more curious about like what's underneath the waves besides Atlantis. Like we don't know everything going down in the ocean. So why are you focusing on Atlantis? That's like the most boring part. So
Would that freak you out if you saw it though? If there's a whole city down there?
I guess I'd be more looking for like the chick from the Atlantis cartoon. Like, hey, do you have any of those there? Because I wouldn't mind.
Does your phobia only work on man-made structures or like metal structures? Like so
Mostly no, okay, no. My phobia goes to the rundown stuff, like the rusted out kind of like ships and stuff, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like if I saw like a building underwater, well, that's all like what do you call it? Those platforms underneath like an abyss and what was that other one? The one with Kristen Stewart.
Oh, what was that called?
What was that called? We reviewed
We
it.
watched
I forgot what
that.
it's called.
Is it just called Underwater or something like that?
Something
Something like that.
So,
Yeah. That's fine. That's like kind of cool. But if I saw like a rundown building underwater, then I get the heebie-jeebies.
Jared, what is your thoughts on evolved dinosaurs maybe living among us?
Smart dinos?
Yeah.
Not a fan of it. Because why aren't they up here talking to us? Why aren't they letting us hang out?
Because they think they're better than us. That's why.
I've always liked there's aliens in the moon theory. I think that's the best one. And when there was like that article like 2 months ago, they're like scientists were like, I think there's something in the moon. We're doing some scans. And they're like, oh, it's just water. And I was like, "Hey."
Just water.
All right, that's their answer for everything. It's either water or like gas. There's a buildup of gas, and I'm like,
Why?
come up with something better. Make it interesting. I click on these articles for nothing.
Why aren't we like mining helium-3? We really need that, by the way.
We're not allowed back on the moon.
Why? Does it belong to China already?
Aliens got mad at us for going up there in the first place.
Listen, Megatron can only say so much crap before we just have to start fighting back. Like, I'm sorry.
They said they're gonna harvest water if there is some in the moon, or try to terraform it, but there's no helium anymore. It's gone.
Moon water.
There's
Jared.
no moon. Moon's not real.
Moon water.
The moon is
not
cheese.
real. The
Thomas's
moon is
favorite
cheese.
edible.
Tom's favorite place, the moon.
The moon.
All right, Michael.
Do you know how mad I would be if I got up there and it was actually cheese? Like, I'd be like, okay, turn the rocket around. We're done.
This is disgusting. What if it was a good cheese
Yeah, I
that
know.
you like?
I don't care. Like,
Big
it's still
mozzarella
would be-
ball in the
Big
sky.
old plop of mozzarella.
I mean, the biggest pizza ever.
That's too much. That's too much moots. I'm sorry.
That's
All
not
right,
much.
Michael. Do you believe that there is a colony of vampires living underground?
underground.
And every once in a while, they shoot out UFOs just to see what's going on up here.
That would make sense in the fact that they wouldn't want to be near the sun. So why not make? I wonder if dwarves are just vampires because they make caverns and stuff like that. Maybe dwarves are just vampires. I don't know. The only possible likelihood of this would be the underwater like an evolved being in the bottom of the ocean because this is just so big. Who the heck knows? It's just like the most interesting, but also most terrifying thing to think about is just
So it blows my mind that we've only researched like 12%.
it's absurd. It's
I'm like,
terrifying.
We've
That's a rough estimate too. Like that's on like the high end.
It's
I'd be
absurd.
like, we've had to hit 50 by now. It's been a while.
And they have like those graphs that show how deep the actual ocean goes, and it's like, oh, there's the Statue of Liberty. There's the Empire State Building.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there's the Tower of Dubai. The Tower of Dubai is down here, and it's still this big. You're like, oh my god,
Those videos freak me out. I'm
it's
not gonna lie.
insane.
The size comparison stuff.
One show, I think it's called Ancient Earth on Netflix. It's like a documentary about a guy talking about like that he believes that humans were intelligent long before the history right now says they actually were. Super fascinating, like 8-part, 12-part documentary. I can't remember whatever, but a bunch of people got angry for him because they're like, no, that's conspiracy theory, but it was fun to watch.
Ancient Apocalypse, I think.
Ancient Apocalypse, that's what it's called.
Yeah, I've
It's
seen
all a
that.
conspiracy theory until it's proven right.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
like, oh no.
Everything's a theory until you prove it.
I.e.,
man.
all of 2020.
It was a fun one though.
I think the weirdest part of this story is that the Harvard, what were they called? The Human Prosperity Department or whatever? Human Flourishing Program decided that they needed to do a UFO study.
Tip their toe into the aliens.
to make, I don't know, maybe that helps us flourish.
I remember last time we went to Cap Rock, Jackson was just like, you guys do creepy videos, right? And he's like, and we're like, yeah. And he's like,
Yeah.
I've been getting into UFOs, man. I've been seeing these videos. They're real, man. And I
I
was
was like, dude, have you heard about these angels?
Oh,
I'm just like,
Jackson.
Jared, no, or Jackson, no.
he's like, there's a bunch of UFOs over Afghanistan. And we're like, really?
Baby UFOs everywhere.
You guys need to invite them for that podcast.
Oh my god, that would be a wild trip. Like Jackson, you only pick one story. That's it.
And it's still an hour long.
I'm just thinking of his reaction to the Russian sleep experiment. That would be awesome.
All right.
Awesome.
So I think that's going to do it for this time. Like, subscribe, and notify yourself for even more weird stuff to come. And we will see you next time. Bye.